Hey, good morning, students. My name is Idayuman Basmantra. The next occasion, I would like to teach you about cross-culture understanding management. This course is really important to be taught because you will explore so many decisions related to cross-culture understanding. For this second meeting, I would like to teach you about culture dilemma in making decision. This is really important courses. Why? Because become a leader, we have essential of a leadership. Become a leader, we should have a data. How could we transfer some information, but it should be related to the decision. But how if our members of audience or our partners in organization has a different cultural background? That's the problem should be solved by the leader. So that's why in making decision, we have to concern about what should we do, what are the data courses we have to need. Well, students, cross-culture differences in decision making is a dilemma because in making decision it is hard to combine some different cultures and also to link or deal with that particular culture. Decision making is a mental activity that is an integral part of planning and taking action in a variety of contexts and on multiple levels. That are the definitions of decision making, including but not limited to budget planning, educational planning, policy making, and career advancement. People all over the world are involved in this activity. Underlying the cross-cultural differences in decision making can be a major contributions factor to efficiency in cross-cultural communications, negotiation, and conflict resolution. There will be three main points in culture different should be blended with this decision making. If we know what is the different cultures, it would help us in making three some point. The first one, easy to communicate with our partners, and the second one, making a negotiations, and also how to solve the conflict as a conflict resolution. Well, students, we have decision making models based on our cross-culture understanding. The first one is depending on the attitude of the researchers summing the rule of culture in the decision making. One of the following models is used to think about and predict patterns of decision making behavior in a particular culture. The first one is universal model. What is universal model? The scientists who use this model usually assume that there are only slight differences in way individuals from different cultures make decisions. The result obtained from one group were associated with the average person. So the underlying universal means that everyone can make a decision among this different culture, but because there is no specific differences and generally the culture is the same, so decision will be easy to be made. And the second one, dispositional model. As the scientists said, adherent to the dispositional view recognize that there are cross-culture differences in decision making and support the causes of cross-culture research. They assume that any differences found in studies indicate the omnipresence of cultural tendencies in the minds of individuals and inevitability rise in all circumstances and in all situation contexts. So based on this understanding, the dispositional model based on the circumstance and also our environment, the background support based on our environments, and also the decision will be interfered by the situational context. So it's based on the situational analysis. And also the last one is dynamic model. Adherents of this view also recognize cross-culture differences. The view culture knowledge not a monolithic construct continuously present, but as a discrete set of knowledge that becomes operative and also functions of the situation. They also facilitate the building and testing nonce and that capture the dynamics which culture influence decision makers. So the dynamic based on how could we make a sum of different cultures and really dynamic in make a blend of the decision. So this culture differences based on depends on the situations, but also this the decision making will be dynamic based on what the outcomes needs of these different cultures. So on the next occasion we have learned how to maximize our competence as a leader in knowing what are the culture difference among us, because we have work with the different organizational, we have to improve our partner with others. It means that we should collaborate with them with a different culture, but the most important thing, how could we make a decision? As a decision maker, it's hard. So that's why we have to understand where the data is needed. So the data is supported by the one of the example that this is culture itself, because they come from the different culture. It will interfere their behavioral, and also one of the dilemma comes from what? Come from the dynamic of the emotional. The dilemma come from emotional, and emotional interfere by where they come from. So the dilemma and making decisions always faced by the leader. What is the strategy? Depends on the analysis of what is the strengths of their cultures. How could they reduce their negativity during their mental psychology, and also the dilemma will reduce if we as a leader could understand what are the environmental comes from this the difference of the culture. So if you have a comment, arguments, and also questions, you can leave your comments on this Google Classroom. So I will assist you to answer or to solve your problem. We come from the different culture, so that's why we have to learn each other to make a good decision. I think that's all my class for the cross-culture understanding for the second meeting related to culture dilemma in making decision. Good luck with my task given. Thank you.